Welcome to the I-80 Club Roadshow, live from Oklahoma City. Wow, dancing with the Skers, Josh Peterson, Jack Mitchell. Jack, can you hear us? Is everything okay?
Hear you.
Okay.
It sounds a little weird, but
yeah.
Maybe that's supposed to happen.
I
don't know.
It's because of like whatever dining room, kitchen area we're in.
Then I don't hear you at all.
Yeah.
Why can't you hear me?
There we go. I'm gonna
put it in there.
You gotta swallow them up there, Caleb. Welcome in. This is the I-80 Club Roadshow.
Right up in there.
Brought to you by our friends at Husker Power Products. We will be talking about them, Jack, a lot over the course of the next few days.
Why wouldn't you?
Why wouldn't you, indeed?
Why wouldn't you, indeed?
You don't have to log into StreamYard, Jack. I got everything.
I want to see how we look.
I have everything handled on my end.
I want to see our show.
I thought that Jack was going to be so excited because finally he doesn't have to worry about anything behind the scenes. Doesn't have to worry about super chats. Doesn't have to worry about
how my makeup looks.
Yeah.
Number one.
Jack hasn't done anything today. We have really handled start to finish this entire trip. Jack's just been along for the ride.
Yeah,
it's hard to. With these mics, it's hard to drink.
Yeah. Wow. Are you going to be okay?
We got
Jack?
a new voicemail.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we're going to be playing voicemails throughout tonight's show. It's going to be a fun show. As we said, this is the I-80 Club Roadshow. We will be down here in Oklahoma City until Sunday, and hopefully we're in a good mood 24 hours from now. That's the important thing about tomorrow, Jack. We don't want to be in a bad mood tomorrow night.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. It's a weird trip because it feels like, normally you go on a trip like this, especially for a sporting event, and like the apex of it is at the very end.
Yes.
Right. Like, say you go down to the Super Bowl, right? Say you go to the Super Bowl.
Sure.
You plan the trip and you do the lead up, or you go to a college football game and then you leave the next day. For us, we put the apex
tomorrow
at the immediate beginning of it, which.
Putting the A in Apex.
What?
Putting the A
the AM in Apex.
Literally, because it's starting at 11:40 tomorrow, not like Nebraska told us a couple of days ago when we thought that it was going to start at 3:10. What time was it supposed to start? It was going to be like the perfect thing.
3:10.
You texted that, and I was like, that could not be any better.
My wife, Reese, asks us in the Discord, and we're going to be reading comments from the Discord all night long. What beer are we drinking? We are drinking a Juice City Dulcita from our friends at Monolithic.
Ooh, that means a little sweet.
Oh, thank you to Monolithic.
I think that's right.
Is that what it means? Good job by you knowing your Spanish. People are wondering, Jack, the Star Wars house. There is no Star Wars stuff behind us.
Well, I mean, it doesn't have every square inch.
Yes.
There are some non-Star Wars areas.
That's true.
I mean, right there, actually. They can't see it.
Man, we're not going to turn the camera because then it might fall over, and that would be really, really bad. You just have to trust us. I will say this. We were going to do the show in the living room, but some of the Star Wars lights flicker.
Yeah.
They don't stop.
We'll do a tour on the Patreon later. How's that sound?
Perfect. That sounds great.
We'll do a tour on the Patreon. By the way, we'll be posting live videos on the Patreon throughout for our members. And if you're thinking about a member, now is a great time to try patreon.com/I-80 Club. Why? Because there's no risk to you. There's no risk to you other than the risk that you're going to be mad you didn't do it before.
Yeah.
But we are doing a 7-day free trial. If you do the community tier, which gets you into the Discord, which gets you all of our shows, which gets you all our behind the scenes videos here in OKC, it gets you more than that. I just can't even think of all of the things that it gets you right now, but it's a lot. It's so much.
Bruce says, why is no one rocking the Road Crew hoodie? So here's a behind the scenes oopsies. We never bought any for ourselves. We never purchased any of the hoodies for ourselves.
I was like, it's cold in here, so I actually did put my I-80 Club hoodie on.
Yes.
But it's going to be like 99 this week.
We're wearing shirts tomorrow.
Yeah.
That's what we're doing.
And we're going to be outside. We're going to be perched on top. If any of you are watching in OKC or listening, like maybe on Thursday morning, we are going to be before the game and after the game on the balcony of, I always forget the name, Social Capital. And that's like, I don't know, third of a mile from the arena.
Dude.
We actually went and
You were
checked
like-
it out today.
Yeah, you were like, hey, let's go check it out. And I was a little worried, like, oh, this is going to take a bit. And then I was like, no, it's not. It's a 3-block walk.
It's around the corner.
It's- I mean,
Jack turned twice and we were already there.
I mean, it's like the equivalent of where you would expect to park if you were going to the arena.
Correct.
Basically.
Yeah, and that's what actually we're going to plan on doing tomorrow.
Yeah.
So,
So we'll be there. We'll be there on the balcony. Come up and see us. Pregame, postgame, and who knows if they win, how long we'll see what the party's like.
Yeah.
We'll see what the party's like, and then we plan to be there Friday throughout the day as well, doing some more shows. Mike Schaefer is going to join us for all those too. He's here, but at a different place right now, so he'll be with us tomorrow morning and afternoon as well.
Jack, everyone is upset with your hat and its cleanliness.
It's a brand. I'm glad
They
you
don't
brought
like
it up.
it. They want it to be
It's a little
run
too
over.
clean.
Yes.
I had my gray nasty one on, but I just got this. Isn't it cool? I thought you were
Go
going to say.
toss it in that nasty charcoal grill.
yeah, we were. Oh God, Jack, we got the beer. We got the beer. What's he doing? Is he going to go get a hat that's 100 years old out there in the back?
Probably.
We were going to grill. We were so excited about the night and what it was going to bring in terms of culinary things. And then
Yes.
Jack went out, and suddenly we heard this weird knocking on a door, and we said, "Uh-oh, has someone come to murder us?" No, it was just Jack outside, and the grill was gross. He didn't. He said it was very ugly.
There was still like big chunks of chicken on
Yeah.
it.
Meanwhile,
Good
we
idea,
already
sorry.
cleaned everything that we ate with. Like we have already
Yeah.
cleaned
Oh,
everything that we
yeah.
did. So shout out to us. I mean,
mean-
not to brag, but we're pretty good people here already.
Caleb looked like a line cook at a diner working at 2 a.m.
He did.
making pancakes.
Yeah.
Like he had been working there for 14 hours. He had the towel over his shoulder. And then Josh is up there just like crushing dishes. Like he's
Not
just,
to brag.
yeah.
Like I said,
mean,
we have from start to finish handled everything, and Jack has just been along.
I got the groceries.
Yeah, Jack.
Yeah, no,
Jack
that's good.
disappeared.
Yes.
Jack left us and got the groceries, and that was when we decided we were going to do the show from inside of our little.
I do
dining area.
appreciate that. We all as a group said that.
Yeah,
we
you got us
appreciate that.
cheese for our burgers.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jack. Thank
You're
you.
welcome. I
Yeah.
got the oil. Never mind.
So here's what
I
we
did
got.
a lot. I did many things.
So here's what we got planned for the pod tonight. We'll be doing some, I don't know, little talk about the drive down and some of the weird things that happened along the way. Jack doesn't know how CarPlay works, so that can be something as Johnny shakes his head in a very negative way. So we'll do that. But the majority of this show, we're going to play voicemails. Jack, you put out a prompt earlier this week
Yes.
asking, what was the exact question? What would a win tomorrow
Yeah,
mean, or what does the program mean to you?
So on the original tweet, and I got a phone number and a voicemail, and I just put on do not disturb, so it went straight to voicemail. And you can still use it. I'll get the number. In fact, tomorrow I think we're going to transform it into a look. If they lose, I'm going to delete it.
Yeah, we're never taking phone calls.
We're not going to talk about any. We're not going to talk about anything again. But if they win, I think I'm going to turn it into a celebration line.
Okay.
And I think we do the show again tomorrow night.
Yep. I-80 After Dark.
Yes,
Old
I
school.
think we do, and we play the celebrations as throughout the day. The number is, if I can ever find it. Oh boy, so many tweets. What is this guy?
I like how you're learning in real time how many times you tweet. Also, Johnny, you should see it. So many tabs open right now on your dad's computer. It's
John, oh God, I'm so glad I brought my son. Oh, I can't. You can only go down that far on tweets.
Do you need me to
12
help?
tabs, by the way.
Wow.
Just look on
Only
my
12?
Twitter.
Yeah, only 12. So yeah, people can call us tomorrow. People can call us. That's the goal, right? That's what we
Yeah,
want.
it's not like they're gonna write down the number now. Go find my tweet.
There you
I'll
go.
tweet it out again.
Jordan says 402-951-1620. That is
No.
a great reminder.
Yeah.
That we have not announced. First of all, we can give a shout out to all of our great community partners, but one of our community partners is 1620 The Zone. Tomorrow's edition of the Nebraska Ball Hour, as we have the phone number, tomorrow's edition of the Nebraska Ball Hour will be simulcast, not only here, but on the 1620 The Zone YouTube page. People were upset earlier this week, Jack, and said, why aren't you guys doing a post-game show? We are doing a post-game show for The Zone. It will just be called the Nebraska Ball Hour with you and me and Caleb and Schaefer.
Look, it'll be the best programming 1620 The Zone has ever had.
Okay, let's
I'm
settle
very
down.
excited
Even if
about
it's the
that.
I-80 Club, it's still AM radio.
or at least the AM Radio's YouTube page.
Yes.
That's, I think, what's going on.
Watch it on the I-80 Club YouTube page, though.
Yeah. If you're going to, here's what I will say. I don't think my bosses are listening right now. If you're going to drop us a super tomorrow, be sure to hop over onto our YouTube page. We would like the super over here where it says I-80 Club.
YouTube.com/
That's where we.
By the way,
like
the phone number.
Yeah, what is that phone number?
402-819-8030.
Oh, I got it because it had an 80 first. Get it, I-80 Club.
Okay, nice, good job by you, Jack.
Just think I-80 Club, Amon Green at the end, and 819, Daryl Lisey, Steve Taylor.
Oh, perfect. Absolutely.
Everyone remembers
As we
Daryl
all do.
Lisey, tight end from about 1991.
Absolutely perfect. By the way, we do want to give a shout out to all of our great sponsors.
Oh,
of course,
baby.
we are brought to you by Husker Power Products. They are the reason that we were able to do this. They are the reason that we are here in Oklahoma City, and we very much appreciate Husker Power Products. You can find out more information about them at huskerpowerproducts.com. We had a great phone call a few weeks ago with Joe, learning about the company, the history of this company.
His dad, John, started this thing in Ainsworth. Right now, they're now down in Hastings. His brother and his sister, brother Josh, sister Amanda. Like, it's a true family business. You got somebody you got the sister doing the books, and I don't know exactly if I'm getting everyone's job right with this, but that's true. But it is it sounds cool. But man, they do a heck of a job, and they've been doing this since 1984. High quality, long-term stability, reliability. They've got this Isuzu line that they do, and like I said, true family-run operation. So if you're a farmer, large manufacturer, listen, I know we got some people who are involved in manufacturing who are watching, who are listening right now on this. If you're not already in connection with Husker Power Products, if you're doing manufacturing, whether you're talking about having the service trucks hit the road, meet you where the work's happening. They've got employees in Hastings, but again, it has been a lot about the irrigation. It still is as well, but they're go-to experts on high-quality engines, ag generators for any power, whether you're in the field, whether you're in the manufacturing unit as well. And it's just a really cool story. It's super fun. He was in Vegas when we were talking.
Incredible.
Wasn't it the night of the UCLA game?
Yeah,
that was the best night. That was the best part of that entire night.
I forgot about that. We were like, "Hey, are you going to watch the game?" And he's like, "No, I'm worried. I'm going to have to do
Great choice,
I'm going to have to go. I'm going to have to be at dinner.
Don't have a bunch of friends to your house and videotape it."
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That was a terrible call by us. But yeah, thank you to Husker Power Products again. The reason that we are able to be here, but we also wouldn't be able to be here without our great community partners: Eye Surgical Associates, Fleet Feet Lincoln, 5-Star Bass Solutions, Lincoln Symphony Orchestra. If it's a big game, we know that's where Jack's going to be. Look Architectural Coatings, Pinnacle Bank Arena, Sandstone Wealth Management, The Still, Sutton, Linder, and Sutton. Visit Lincoln, and as we mentioned a moment ago, 1620 The Zone. All of our community sponsors. Shout out to Sean for a super chat in the YouTube. Thanks for what you guys are doing. So awesome, and I'm jealous. You guys sound great, by the way. Just guys being dudes.
Guys being dudes.
That was the whole trip down, was just guys being dudes.
Was it?
We got into it about a 2-hour period where we just kept playing Sporkle.
That made it sucked until that point, and still I started dishing out Sporkle quizzes. That changed the entire trajectory of the day.
That's because you slept for like an hour.
It was like a half hour. And I did a morning show. Did any of you?
Yeah, you were.
I was
sleepy.
on your morning show.
Yeah, you were a little sleepy
for 20 minutes.
I read about 100 pages of a book, by the way, that I'm not enjoying. I'm really regretting.
Johnny read the back of the cover to me, and I'm like, dude,
did he really?
Your light reading on the way up here.
I was interested.
Yeah,
in what it was.
Isn't it a cool premise? The Twin Towers randomly show up in South Dakota, and you're like, what's going on here?
Oh, you didn't say that.
Oh, yeah.
You didn't really get into the plot.
Yes, he read the back cover, not the inside flap.
I was reading like the recommendations.
Isn't that an interesting premise? Yeah, book kind of sucks, though. So that's a huge bummer. So, yeah, we had a great time, though. We started naming dudes. We did basketball trivia. I think I showed off my NBA
Josh
knowledge.
showed his NBA knowledge. I will admit, I was impressed.
Yeah, not to brag.
Caleb showed off his geography knowledge.
Yeah, we were naming European countries that don't have an O in them.
Yes.
I checked out by that point. That's when I opened up Shadowbond.
And we had a good NBA team because Josh had the 10s for the NBA covered.
Yep.
Johnny had the 2020s covered.
Yes.
And I had the 90s and 80s covered.
I was hitting some aughts in there.
Yeah, you got some of the aughts.
What was the thing that we struggled with a little bit when it was baseball teams? by letter and length of words, or the length of the
That
word.
took us longer than it should
Yeah,
have.
because at first it started and Johnny was like, oh, this is going to be easy. It was like Tigers, easy, piece of cake.
You
And then
know
it was
what-
like 6 letters, and it's like, athletics.
Do you know who would have
We
enjoyed
struggle.
being on that drive?
Who?
Scott
Frost. Oh, gosh.
Scott Frost was Sporkle the whole way up, Scott.
Yeah.
Cheering on your alma mater. Should have been here.
People forget when Scott Frost got hired by Nebraska that was like the thing that they talked about. He wants to do Husker physical with Oregon fast, and he plays Sporkle. That was the thing.
Sounded
The Holy Trinity.
frankly, I love
Fast physical Sporkle.
I loved all 3 of those.
What if instead of the area codes, it would have said Sporkle on their helmets?
Where's that shirt? Where's that I-80 Club shirt? Fast physical sport.
I
You know
love
what?
that.
For the next road trip that we
Yeah,
make,
yeah.
maybe for the Sweet
Fast
16, Jack.
physical I-80 Club, fast physical Sporkle.
Can we
I
have a-
love it.
Can we have a
And
quick
By
turnaround?
the way, since our graphic, if you've seen the graphic that Josh made with the Husker Power Products logo on it, it is a van. And for those who don't know, we ordered. I'll be calling you later, Costco. We ordered an SUV. To make it sound like a pizza. We
Yeah.
ordered an SUV, like a sweet Toyota Grand Highlander SUV, and we got a Pacifica.
Yeah.
Which we have named
we-
Evangeline, by the way.
Okay, one of us named it that.
Yeah.
The royal we have named it
And
Evangeline.
Johnny and Caleb and I are picking it up at a rental car place, not to be named now, but I'll be calling you too. And we were like disappointed. It was a van and not an SUV. And then about an hour into the trip, we are like, this is really nice.
Never mind. This is
This is
perfect.
real good.
Well, gosh, when we loaded up the car and you were being very critical of how we packed it, I was like, but
That's because
what?
I told her to watch, so I don't know if she is, but
What?
I learned it from watching my wife. She's very critical of me.
Oh, really?
I was
so you
just-
decided to take it out on us?
I
You're
was
like the father who
triangulating.
learns from
Yeah.
the bad father.
I
and takes
learned from watching you.
You gotta break the
Yeah,
cycle.
you did.
Jack.
I hope she's not watching.
I texted her and told her
You're
to.
A.
Break
Oh,
the
it's-
wheel, Jack.
Yeah, you got to change.
Shout out to my brother-in-law Matt, who's watching from Florida.
Oh,
In Tampa,
Florida.
by the way, which I realized on Sunday,
Oh, we
right
could have
before
been
that
there.
we might be there, and we could have hung out with Matt and Katie and Kale and Madden and the whole Walkie crew.
tight.
There's some big Husker fans in Walkie too. I think we have one who's on our list tonight of voicemails.
Our voicemails. Very cool.
Matt probably knows him.
Shout out Walkie.
Awesome.
Shout out Walkie. Shout out Jeremiah's.
Well, here's the thing. We're gonna talk a whole lot more about the game tomorrow. So, like, if people are coming tonight for like the Troy breakdown, Jack has been taking notes. Have no fear. He'll give us the full breakdown of Troy, their size, their
Yeah.
physicality,
Oh,
their
I know
offensive
everything about
rebounding.
them.
Did I show you my little thing that I got sent to me this week? Look at this. I have the synergy notes for the entire game. Look at that. I got charts
Where
and
did you
graphs.
get that?
Well, I know some people, Jack. I know, not to brag, but I know people who have access to these types of
It's
things.
pretty cool. I don't
Isn't
know.
that- do you want me to send it
Did
to you?
you forward that to me?
I could.
Or did you just lie that you were going to?
You know what? I think I forgot.
Those look like some very deep analytics.
It is very deep analytics. It
Are you
absolutely-
supposed to have that?
Well, I got
That's
it.
the classified level of those analytics.
I got it
that
sent
he-
to me.
Did you see
All right,
those?
I'm gonna.
Yeah, that was a little much.
You're gonna see it in his inbox.
I don't think
now.
I should. I don't want to see those.
Okay, interesting. It's not. We didn't download anything illegal, Jack.
It
Everything is
looks
okay.
Top secret.
Jab says more in depth than Sipple's Chat GPT breakdown. I
Yeah.
hope. No promises. No promises. Jack, as we talked about on the drive, Jack and his whole generation loves.
I didn't realize
AI.
this was a
Can't
thing
get
that it
enough.
was. First of all, Sipple and my generations are not the same generation. Just FYI.
Are you
I mean,
sure? Sipple's not a boomer. He's younger than my parents.
I'm a part of a unique. It's a small but very different and very cool
A generation. It's like a folder, and then you open up
It's
the other
not
folder.
X, it's not Y. It's the perfect. It's the mama bear of generations.
What would you call yours?
Some people call it the Generation Catalano. Some people call it
I
Exennials.
think Generation Mom Bear is perfect.
Mom bear.
Some call it.
Hey, bear pick.
Some people call it Generation Oregon Trail.
Is that what they call it?
Look it all up. You can read all about it, or you can just hang out with me and you can learn about it in person.
Shout out to Mike, who is always watching us on the I-80 Club YouTube
Always.
channel, even though he's not even a Nebraska fan. And that's why I appreciate Mike. He's always hanging
Yeah.
out with us. Mike says Pastor Troy greater than Little Troy, greater than Troy Aikman, which that's kind of mean. I am
I have a
wearing
Pastor Troy.
a Dallas Cowboys hat
Little
right
Troy.
now.
I
Do you
don't-
really?
okay.
Do you guys
Yeah,
have the
this
same
is-
pastor?
What about Cowboy Troy?
Yeah.
Where are we at
Cowboy
on
Troy.
Cowboy
Is
Troy?
Cowboy Troy
miss
Troy
him.
Aikman?
I miss him from the college game day. Down, sit, hut.
Hmm.
You know?
Come in.
Yeah. No,
To your
I liked his little hiking rap interlude. I think that's one of the best featured verses in rap history in my mind.
Now there's a lot of generation talk in the Discord channel right now, trying to figure
Good.
out what you are. I don't think you're allowed to ask somebody that question.
How old am I? I was born in 77.
All right, everybody just asked.
Born in 77. If you're born from like 75 to 82-ish,
You're a weirdo.
83, you are the new greatest generation, they call them.
No,
I call
millennials are the greatest generation. Everybody
everybody thinks that's one thing that no one thinks. FYI, guys.
That's the thing that is everyone is always agreed on. There's not a lot we can all agree on.
That's
Jack, that millennials have been the greatest of the greatest generation.
Jack, I'm going to give you a reference that you're understanding because you love books, right? And so Moby Dick was a book that was not understood in its time, but retroactively, people have said, "Wow, Moby Dick, a classic." That is how millennials will be viewed in the future. People will look back and say they were misunderstood in their time. But they are
forgetting we made Kate Bush famous? All right.
I was going to say we were just born into a hellacious hellscape, and we've had to deal with all of the things that you left us.
Like
Thanks
Josh
a lot,
said,
Gen
you'll
X.
all be remembered as Moby Dicks.
Exactly. That's what I'm hoping for. Jack, should we get to the voicemails from our?
Yes, not that one.
What just happened?
Yeah, we have drops.
Sorry.
Oh,
I'm learning the buttons.
That's the Gen X. Hey, Generation X.
Oh, this was fun. Can I try one?
Jeez.
That's the millennial drop. Wow. How perfect are we?
That one's the crickets.
That's just Jack.
That's when Jack said something. We just play that. Jack,
Okay.
do you want to set this up?
So yeah, let's say this. So we already told you we gave the phone number. I guess I never answered this question because I looked for the tweet and I never found it. Caleb, can you pull my tweet up again? Thank you. So I made a tweet. I couldn't find it, but Caleb pulled it up for me, and I
Thank
said,
you, Caleb.
"No, that's not the. Well, I mean that's the phone number, but the original tweet asked, please."
Yeah, it's your own words. Can't you just come up with the prompt yourself again?
It was. So I asked people what it would mean if Nebraska got their first ever NCAA tournament win tomorrow against Troy. And then if you called, you actually heard I left like a minute long intro to the voicemail or whatever you call that voicemail message. And I basically said, hey, tell us who you are. Here's what I said. I set up a new phone number, 402-819-8030. That's got one purpose. I want Nebraska ball fans to call and leave a message telling me what it will mean to you if Nebraska ball gets their first NCAA win. If you leave a message, I may use it on the radio or on the I-80 Club. So you've been warned, and I may use some of these on the radio. I said, for what it's worth, the number is DND, so don't worry about waking me up.
That means do not disturb.
I get transcripts, so if you troll, I won't even hear it.
I thought it was Dungeons and
Not
Dragons.
that any of you are muted. And I left an intro message to give you more detail on what I'm looking for, what a win will mean, how you'll react, what memories will come back, and what people you'll think of. So that's what I asked people for. And we have not listened to any of these.
We have played the start of a couple of them just to confirm as we were trying to lock down that we wanted to make sure we had all of them. Jack sent them to me earlier, and we were a few short, so we were just trying to mix and match and figure out, do we have all of them? And we have all of them, and now we have everybody's phone number, so that's exciting too.
Yeah. So I'm we don't know. Anyway, that had nothing to do with it. So yeah, we have so we're just gonna what we're gonna do now is
we're gonna play them
the night before this game. We're going to find out. I mean, I think this is going to kind of set the tone for the game. And I think most people who are watching this get it. You don't need to explain it to them, I should say. But
I feel like they were either going to leave this pod wanting to run through a brick wall or cry. And maybe a little bit of both.
That's my favorite.
Maybe a little bit of both. Are you gonna talk about what this means for you at the end as we wrap up the calls?
I don't know. We'll see.
Okay.
We'll see.
Perfect. Should we start with the first one?
Yeah, let's hit. So yeah, we don't even. Do we have names on these, or we'll just let them say their name?
I hope that everybody said their name because all we have is phone numbers, and I'm not going to say. So this one is from 402-863.
Okay, let's just go. Yep.
By the way, Mexi Fry says we're selling your numbers to pay for the Sweet 16.
Oh, perfect.
Actually,
yeah,
not a bad idea.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, Husker Power Products, we'll be hitting you up if Nebraska wins the next two games. All right, here we go. This is the first one.
Jolkowski, I-80 Club for life. What would Nebraska's first NCAA tournament win to me? I just think back to the year I was in sixth grade in 2002. My dad took me to see Nebraska ball play Texas Tech and Bobby Knight's first game in the Devaney Center. The place was packed out. The student section was wild. Kerry Cohorn scored 19 points. That 12-year-old kid thought he probably scored 30 or 40. but we won. It was an amazing night, and the night I fell in love with Nebraska ball. And the person that I would think of first after we get this win would be my dad, who took me to that game, and he raised me as a Nebraska ball fan in a blue town like Omaha, that where most people root for Creighton, but we've held our ground as Nebraska ball fans through the lowest of lows, and soon to be highest of highs. So thanks for all you do, Jack, and for being a voice for Nebraska ball fans. Let's get this one. Go Big Red.
Nice.
What a great way
Love
to start our friend
Great
Jabs.
start.
We have how many more of these? Because
22.
I love this.
I know. I got
already.
goosebumps, man.
Yeah.
I got goosebumps.
We got
already.
22 more. Anything off of that one, or you just want to get to the next
Well,
one?
I had the dumbest thought during that, which is not it, but it reminded me of Bobby Knight. Remember before anybody was wearing sponsorships and Bobby Knight was doing Texas Tech, and he had that huge auto parts. Was it O'Reilly?
My gosh, I forgot about that.
Huge O'Reilly.
God, I forgot about that.
Nebraska had some interesting games. They got a buzzer beater, I think, in Lubbock one year and beat them when Bobby Knight was there. No, but that's a great one. And in Omaha, that's an interesting perspective. In that era, it was when the Creighton-Nebraska rivalry had started to already fire up. What did he say, 2011? That I always kind of think the real birth of the Creighton-Nebraska rivalry was either about the NIT game.
What was that, 04, 05-ish?
Yeah, about 05. And
Yeah.
so it had been going for a little while.
Yeah.
So, but yeah.
Awesome. Shout out to Jabs. Let's get to our next one.
Hey, it's DZ from the I-80 Club. Yeah, for me, a win would mean everything. Just sitting up at top of Devaney, section C21, on the bleachers, going through the Barry Collier era, the Doc Sadler era, Tim Miles, just the heartbreak of all that. Yeah, it would just mean a lot. It would make it all worth it. It just makes it all worth it. Just all that suffering and pain and all that. Anyway, go Big Red.
All right. Thanks,
Awesome.
DZ.
I love what DZ says there. The idea of it being worth it. I think about that a lot as a fan of the Sad Sack Dallas Cowboys. People always say that. You don't have to do this. People have probably said that to you. Now you're surrounded by Husker fans, right? So it's not like the conversation that you're having with people. Honestly, the conversation is probably, why do we do this to ourselves? And of course, the answer is always, well, I'm growing up in it. I can't change now. But the goal is always, I want that joy. I want that moment of victory or happiness or what you imagine tomorrow to be. And so I think all of us as sports fans, whether you are a diehard Nebraska basketball fan or not, I think you understand that idea of, I just want the end game to finally arrive.
Yeah, it's like there's so many things I could go down so many paths with that, but like the weird thing about the Nebraska basketball fan is that despite the fact that its history is really defined by a lack of success, I think you'll hear this tonight. We've seen it constantly in kind of hearing people talk about this program, is they've got fond memories somehow of an era defined by a lack of success, right? And I don't, and maybe that happened. Maybe that's what, you try to think of a comparison, right? Where the Cubs went out forever, right? And the whole thing about not winning World Series, which that's always a little different because that was the ultimate, like they were still making the playoffs. They were still like the Nebraska thing is not even asking for that much.
Correct.
It's one NCAA tournament win. But it's just like, not only are there fond memory, like he talked about sitting up in the C section. My son's sitting over here in the back, and Johnny, we had $99 tickets when you were, I don't know, it was probably like 2011, 2000, probably about the same year the Jabs was talking about, right? You remember that? Like up in the bench, they sold they couldn't sell the bench ones because eventually the seat backs ended, and so during the Sadler era, they would sell those things. You get $199 for the C-section seat backs, and if you went down to $99, you could get the bench season tickets. So we bought, my dad, my son, myself. We spent $300 for season tickets multiple years during that time, and you could have paid $300 to get into a game this year, which is funny. After all that, for all of our season
What are tickets going for tomorrow?
for a whole year? Yeah, yes, that's true. You could have bought one ticket to this game for that amount that we did that whole thing. So I remember that too. So all right, let's keep going.
Absolutely incredible. Here's our next one.
Jack, it's Connor from Fremont. How you doing? I sat here for a while thinking I might write something down, but I'm just gonna say screw it and say what's on my mind. Whether it's this year or not, whenever we finally get that first win, it'll mean everything to me. I'm the idiot that got hashtag Nebraska ball tattooed on his left forearm and then got trolled mercilessly on Twitter. But yeah, I'm.
Oh man, I think we lost him.
So,
Call back.
So then we got part 2.
It's Nebraska ball Connor here from Fremont. If we win this year or next year or whenever it is that we finally win an NCAA tournament game, my first reaction is going to be probably to cry, genuinely. I'm only 29, so I'm not going to sit here and pretend I've had eternal suffering like some of you older folks, but, I got season tickets actually for the first time the day Troy beat us in football, and I was like, you know what, football sucks, I'm done with them, I'm going to go to the basketball games from now on. So I went, Tim Miles last year, fun year, some injuries, tough look. After that, we suffered a lot under Hoiberg's early years. Cam Mack shooting bows and arrows into the 300 level where nobody was,
Great.
but me and a few more. Fuck it. I don't know.
Hey, Connor. Dude, no, man. Dude, I love it, man. I hope you hear like you got the tattoo after the. That's what I'm talking about. He got the tattoo after seeing, no success, and then took a bunch of shit for it, basically. Man, I hope you get it, Connor.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. And yes, we can verify that season that he started in was among the most. I mean, look, we could look back and there were a lot of individually painful ones, but the Isaac Copeland injury, which he's going to be here, right, Johnny? You talked to him, right?
I did have a brief Twitter conversation with Isaac Copeland because after the loss to, I believe it was Illinois, he was at that game, and I talked to him. I ran into him after in the concourse at PBA and told him that the Ohio State guy who injured him was a bad person. He did agree.
Yeah, when going up for a dunk after a whistle, and he decided to play defense on him. But in any case, that was great, man. Shout out Connor and Fremont. I love that call. I really like. I love hearing the emotion from you guys.
Yeah, for sure. All right, let's get to another one.
Hey, Jack. This is John. If Nebraska wins on Thursday, it'll be the best thing that's ever happened to me. It'll be the first time Nebraska has given me any joy in my life. I'll think of all the people that passed that didn't get to see it, like Kobe Bryant and Betty White. And, yeah, I just think it'll be a glorious day for everyone. Bye.
Excellent.
That's amazing.
It started so good. It's like, oh, man. Because honestly, Jack, when he said,
I was like,
Kobe
yes,
Bryant
yes.
and Betty White could be here.
yeah, I mean, I would love. Kobe was my favorite athlete, so I would love to have
cool.
him. I-80
I think
Roadshow.
you would like this.
Kobe Bryant hanging out. Hey, Kobe, what do you think about this? Did you consider Nebraska when you went straight to the NBA out of high school? Wow. Thank you.
I was so on board because I was like, yes, there are people that were long-suffering fans that are not here
Yep.
Yeah.
to see what can potentially
true.
happen tomorrow. And then hit
Yeah.
me with Betty White and Kobe.
Incredible. Absolutely incredible. All right, let's get to our next one.
Yes, my name is Bob Philhouse, and I've been a Husker fan, basketball fan, basically my whole life. My first game that I can remember in which I attended was the Bo Reed in the corner beating Manny and the Miracles.
It's
I've
1988.
had season tickets many years of my life, and I'm a huge, huge fan. I live up in the Omaha area now, and so now I have to deal with all the Creighton Blue Jays fans and just hearing all their garbage and just Nebraska basketball is a big passion of mine, and just I call my dad 3 or 4 times a game usually and talk about what's going on.
Yeah.
And just a win would be the greatest thing ever. Go Huskers. Bye.
Man, that's awesome.
Yep.
That's really cool.
Mm-hmm.
We got another super from Mike. Huskers win one for Sister Jean. Hashtag RIP. Pour one out for Sister
man.
Jean.
Wish she could have been here to see this.
She
Boy.
loved going to the NCAA tournament.
Yeah.
I imagine that she would have loved a story like this one.
There's no doubt about it.
Oh man,
There's no, she liked the underdog in the tournament.
yeah, she certainly did. She certainly did. All right, you ready for our next one?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, here we go.
This is Nick. It would be, I'm trying to think of a word to describe it. Jubilation. Jubilation if we win. I'm going to say when we win. I'm so nervous. We could be playing UNK, and I would be just as nervous. I think we have to go with like what old Kurt Signetti said, and this team that's playing on Thursday hasn't been to the tournament. There's guys who've played on it, but this team hasn't. So go in there, do what we've done to get to 26-6, win the game. And then I really feel that if we win that first one, we will exhale and we can make a deep run. It's either lose first round or Elite Eight. I think that's what it's going to be. Huskers win by 16. Go Big Red.
That'd be a cover, Jack.
What is the line?
13 and a half.
13 and a half.
Like I feel like I don't. So like I don't buy this whole thing like this, or I didn't at least buy the whole thing that this tournament drought was going to be something that weighed on this team.
Mm-hmm.
And then everybody kept asking him about it, like non-stop, all of the time.
Because everyone else has lived it. They haven't lived it.
Yeah. And so like there is a part of me, like I don't know if it'll be. I mean, I think when this team was at its best, they were sort of impervious to pressure or emotion or those sorts of things. But I also, at the same time, and maybe this is incongruent or inconsistent, but I also, here's the thing about them winning tomorrow. There's not only the celebration of them having finally broken that curse, but there is, I will have that feeling if they can do that. I will feel more confident going into the building on Saturday than I do on Thursday if they win on Thursday.
Not to make a call back to something that ended up not being founded, but it's like the idea that we had with the Groin Kick Chronicles. Go find it wherever you find great podcasts, or you can watch this stuff on YouTube. But one of the things, Jack, that you and I talked about so much last summer was they just need to start getting some of these one-score wins, and then everything is going to change. Now, obviously, that didn't happen, but I mean, why couldn't they? Why can't you get the monkey off your back and then go into Saturday without the pressure and feel a lot looser?
Yeah.
Why not? Right? Why not?
And so if I say that,
and what if McNeese State pulls the upset tomorrow and you're suddenly playing them in the tournament?
But there is, I mean, like there's something to looking at this first game that I'm sure a lot of fan bases look at as sad. But here's the thing about it: if that it's the same reverse plot that I was talking about at the beginning of the show, right? When you go through a movie, when you go through a weekend of sports, the apex, the climax is at the end, right? And the pressure builds the entire time. But I feel like it's going to be, instead of like this, it's going to be like this in terms of the pressure.
Yeah. It'd be pretty amazing if you end up being right about that.
It's just a weird, I just have that feeling. Now, again, ask me again on Saturday. And like I said this to you guys in the car coming up today. We were talking on McMaster's show before your internet went to crap.
My internet.
Sorry.
You mean the state of Kansas?
Kansas.
All right,
Jack.
You're right. Rural Kansas, not the best internet.
Thank you.
Who
knew? Yeah.
We good, internet bad.
Yeah. I wish we would have been told about this.
But I was saying, I still think, I mean, I don't think, I'm sure I will be happier if Nebraska, my reaction to Nebraska winning on Thursday will be bigger, louder, happier than it would be on Saturday. Not that I don't want it to happen on Saturday, but and maybe that's obvious to even say right now. But any other fan base would probably think that's insane.
They would, yeah.
It doesn't even make
Nobody
sense,
would
right?
agree with that, yeah.
Yeah, but I bet. I mean, I'm sure everybody who's listening and calling, making these calls feels that way too.
Before we get back to the calls, Keena writes on our Discord server, I just wish Harambe were here to see this.
That's true.
Pour one out for our dear friend Harambe. It's
Right.
been
I don't
10
think
years
I don't think they
almost.
said pour one out for Harambe.
Did they not say pour one out? What did they say about Harambe?
I'm not going to be the one to say that.
Okay, very, very. Oh, that's
he
right.
was a Cincinnati Bearcats fan, I think.
Oh, well. All right. Maybe we would be rooting for the underdog. All right, let's get to our next call.
Hey, man, getting excited for the game. Excited. I've been a Husker fan all my life. Think back to the days growing up with Erik Jolkowski and Bruce Chubbuck. And, heck, I think back to fourth grade when I took my school picture with my Toronto jersey. And you know what? It's going to be a special weekend. It's going to be a special time. And just looking forward to getting that first big W, getting the monkey off the back. And you know what? It's one of those things where you just you stick to it, and it's eventually going to pay off to be a Husker Hoops fan. And it's going to happen this weekend. The monkey is going to come off the back, and the Huskers are going to get the win. I don't care how they get the win. I don't care if it's an ugly win. I don't care if it's a last-second shot and we win. We're going to find a way to get the win. And I can already hear Pavelka just going crazy. Got it! That's right! We got to win in the NCAA tournament. You know what? It's going to be fun. And I'm not going to lie. I'm probably going to even shed a tear when we get that W coming up on Thursday. Go Big Red Man. Thanks again. And we'll see you all in Oklahoma City.
Oh, great call.
School photos in your favorite player's jersey.
Dude.
In the Toronto jersey.
In the Toronto jersey.
I love it.
Shout out to Justin dropping us a super. This would mean the world for me, born in 91. I seem to be bad luck for the Huskers, but tomorrow that changes. Yeah, it's quite the time to come into the world, Jack.
But I loved what that last call, I don't think he said his name, but I loved what he said there just about how great the moment will be. And it will put a bow on. I said this, and you might find it depressing. I don't when I say it. There won't be, for me as a sports fan, in the rest of my life, there won't be, I don't know how you could concoct it, a better period of months as a sports fan than what Nebraska basketball fans experienced this year from November. And of course, it hasn't been as good. But if you could end it with this, with ending that thing, it will be the last best sports moment of my life. And I'm not planning on leaving anytime soon. But there's no way you can duplicate. Do you know why I say that? Because
it's like this is the last thing you're waiting for, right?
But like you can, even if Nebraska went to the Final Four, if they lost the next game this year, but they went to the Final Four next year, there is no way of duplicating what there's no way of duplicating unexpected joy in sports.
Mm-hmm.
And you throw in completely unexpected and so much better than you expected that it's the amount of times it felt like fiction this year is still like you just aren't going to get that again. You don't have low enough expectations for anything.
Yeah, it's funny.
It depends who you cheer for, I suppose.
The last month and change has kind of changed how we've talked about him. And you guys have talked about it a ton on the Nebraska Ball Hour over the course of the last month and a half. But remember what we were saying about them in the midst of 12-0 and 13-0 and 14-0. Johnny was on with you after the crazy Indiana game and all of those in that stretch in December when they beat Creighton and Wisconsin by 30, and then they beat Illinois in the game winner. And like the way in which we were talking about them every single time, Jack, this is unprecedented. In the end, they end up as a 4 seed, which is oddly not even the best seed that they've ever had. That honor still goes to the 1991 team. And yet this season is going to end up being, for many, the most memorable ever. And I mean, for everybody, the most memorable if they were able to get it done tomorrow.
Yeah. And, and if football gets really hot again, it will be awesome. I will love it. I will love it.
And what if this team suddenly became a mainstay in the Sweet 16? Eventually, you'd probably say, I want more, can we do the other thing?
But it won't be like this because I had that experience before. And maybe it'll be different for people who are younger. And it might be hard because I just don't know that you'll ever, unless you cheer for a team, and there may be people who cheer for a historical unsuccessful pro franchise or something else, and so maybe they'll get it. But for me, it's Husker football, Husker basketball, and the Royals. For me, that's primarily it, and then other Husker sports for the most part. And like, I got it with Husker football, I got it with the Royals, and with the closest thing I can compare it to is when the Royals did it, and it was completely unexpected that first time around. There's nothing like that in sports as a fan.
Yeah.
It's great to have a good team. It's great to have cheer for a really great team, and it doesn't make it less fun, but there is no greater, you don't know what to do with yourself because you never believed this had a chance of happening. And then it happening during a season. That's the best feeling you can have when you're being a sports fan.
And we went into last off season having missed the Big Ten tournament. And it wasn't like somebody then showed up and said, here's $20 million, go buy the best roster you can.
Correct.
Right.
And get into this next year, and there's a bunch of expectations out the door.
This doesn't feel like Texas Tech football.
I'm trying to remember.
And that's not to take anything away from Texas Tech football.
I'm trying to remember what my expectations even were at the beginning of the year. Do you guys remember?
I think it was just like make the tournament, right? It was like, can they make the tournament?
The first time we did our tournament confidence.
Yeah. David has that somewhere, DPM.
Yeah, you were a 3.5 or a 4.
Yeah. Think about that. And they were like playing well at that point in time.
Yeah, we had, I don't remember when we did that first show, but I think I went in.
It was after the Oklahoma game, wasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't particularly excited about the roster.
Well, when you lose Bryce, when you lose Gary, those are two people that had contributed so much to that first time we made March Madness 2 years ago. I mean, and we won the crown. That kind of felt like the peak for that rise.
Yeah.
I don't know. You just didn't know. You didn't know what Sanford, Frager, Hoiberg were going to be, I think, in particular. And Rank, you didn't know how he was going to come back. And I think that's part of it. But they've still obviously played greater than the sum of their parts.
Yeah.
As well. All right.
Let's get to the next one.
Hey, Jack. My name's Christian. As somebody who's, 25 years old, hasn't been able to witness any sort of monumental success in a men's sport for Nebraska ever, honestly, in my lifetime. The only thing I can say is that when I was born, we played for a national championship in football, and apparently that's as close as it's ever gotten. So I would say this is the next best thing, hopefully witnessing what could be our first tournament debut, I think would just be that monumental step for somebody that's my age, somebody around my age, who's just been hoping and thriving for wanting something just even close to as relevant as a big time postseason win. And I think this is that thing for people in my demographic. And I'm ready to witness it. I'm going to be in OKC. I was in Chicago last week, obviously slightly disappointed for the Big Ten tournament, but I'm going to be in OKC, and I'm going to be there fighting that battle with that team. We're gonna do whatever we can to help push that team across the finish line. I hope someday I can tell my kids and their kids, my grandkids, I helped push the team across that finish line one day when I get to stand out there with those kids and those grandkids in front of PBA with hopefully a Fred Hoiberg statue. That would be just monumental.
Yeah, it's interesting that call came up just then, because I was just talking, guys, about how, I had the football thing, right? I had the football thing, but if you're a few years older than me, you got to probably be about 10 years older than, or 10 years younger than me, I should say, younger than me. You didn't have that. Like, that was all. I mean, it was obviously a very spoiled thing to have at the beginning of your, in your formative years. And of course, it happened to me when I was 16, 17, and 18.
Like the literal perfect time of a person's life.
I heard Dirk Chatlin talking to Schaefer on Unemployed, and he's a few younger than me. And he was like, he said, my son's about these ages, and I watch him, watch these teams and fall in love with them. And those were the ages I was when Nebraska football did what they did. And so, I always have that, but sometimes you forget. And, I even forget my son's sitting around the other across the table, 20, 21 years old. And Like, I don't know, Johnny, what is the biggest accomplishment in Husker sports as a diehard fan that you've been brought up to be?
Well, it's going to sound so dumb, but like the only time I've had this excitement about any Nebraska sporting event ever was the lead up to that Colorado game. It was the lead up to that Colorado football game, and it ended up being a win, but it also felt a little bit weird just because we didn't ever score in the second half. But also, but my best moments by far have come from basketball. I got to be there for Purdue. I got to be there for Wisconsin. I got to be there for beating. I mean, and a couple of them have come from the season, even right. Michigan State this year, but there's something so much different from getting wins when you aren't even thinking about the possibility of getting a win there. You're just thinking about the current moment.
That's what I was just saying.
Having like hope and expectations are so completely different. And I right now have hope. Like for the first time in my life, I've had hope for something to go really, really well.
You know, Jack, one of the things you've talked about a lot is basketball, unlike football, like basketball has given you those recent memories, like the good wins. You know, they beat ranked teams. Nebraska football famously hasn't beaten a ranked team in a decade, but Nebraska basketball does it. How many ranked teams did they beat this year? They beat Michigan State. They beat Illinois. So, I mean,
they beat top 10 teams.
They beat top 10 teams. They beat number 1 Purdue a couple of years ago. Yeah. You know, they had that stretch where they beat Purdue and Wisconsin. Even the bad teams, the really bad Nebraska teams, still find a way to win against a ranked team. And so I'm not surprised that Johnny says that his happiest moments have come as a basketball fan. Yeah. That makes a whole lot of sense.
Yeah.
Makes a whole lot of sense.
Well, and you think about it, football as a program is trying to get back to something.
Mm-hmm.
Basketball's never done this.
Yeah,
so all of the cheering that's happened over the years has been for something that has never gotten to a certain level.
Yeah,
and it's had its moments of really, really good. It's had its moments and long stretches of really, really bad. But when you get that moment, that's absolute elation. That's just been waiting there. It's the only program that's only power conference program that's never won an NCAA tournament game. When you get that, it feels like here's the treat that's just been waiting out there that everyone else has had a chance at, but Nebraska's never gotten to hold it.
Yeah.
And that's why I said expectations versus hope. Because even though I didn't get to see the national championships in football, I still, like, my first memories from Nebraska football were Ndamukong Suh, you know, Levante David. You know, we had at least people who were doing things that somewhat resembled their dominance before, and now it's just chasing even that, which we can't do. But we're not chasing anything. We're chasing hope.
Yeah, chasing immortality, honestly. Read a comment, and then we'll get back to the voicemails. Keena writes, I was crazy busy all day, so I couldn't call in, but I'm so excited to see this team win just for this fan base to be rewarded. I've been going to games since I was a kid in the early 90s, and I never felt disappointed at the end of a Husker season. I never felt like it was hard to be a Nebraska ball fan because it was always so fun to cheer on the players and coaches, no matter how many games we lost. It was about the traditions and the fans and the people we shared those experiences with. I'd be so excited to see all those people get to revel in such a successful season.
While you read that made me think I want to read these texts before I forget.
Yeah.
That we had a few of you texted in this phone line, which I didn't even know you could do, but apparently you can, which is great. So I'm glad they did. And if you want to text it tonight, tomorrow, it's open for you. It's a therapy line for everyone.
And hopefully tomorrow a celebration line.
Yeah. And I don't have a name on this, but it says, hi, Jack. Been a fan my whole life. Really got into Nebraska ball in 2013 as a freshman in college. By the way, how many of these people are young?
Yeah, seriously. That's pretty cool.
You know, isn't that crazy?
Yeah. It's been a great cross-section, right?
Jeff?
It's been a great...
No, it's not Jeff Zeleny. I don't know why Jeff Zeleny from CNN. He's the top contact. There's his cell number if you want to call him.
Shoot him a text. See what he thinks about the Nebraska. Is he a diehard Nebraska basketball fan?
He should be.
He spoke at my graduation.
Well, I don't know why.
All right, let's get back to the text.
The only cell number I have? That's weird.
Okay, yes.
Obviously, 2014 was a dream. Now in 2026, as a father of a daughter that cheers with me for Nebraska, I've never wanted it more. To experience this with my girl. I know why you all wanted OKC, great location, driving distance, and home court advantage. My reasoning was the Thursday-Saturday game schedule. I had planned a Disney World trip for my daughter with my wife for her 5th birthday. It happened to land on that week. We happened to have plans made on Friday, business, and Sunday, Disney Park. Thursday and Saturday, we're in the clear. Enjoy this with your son. I know you'll be thinking to your dad. I'll be with my girls, soaking every minute in. Let's get it done, GBR. And then another one. The first win would mean everything. Going through the ups and downs of Nebraska would overshadow that. And then,
You want me to read it?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. Jack, great idea setting up this line. My name is Sean, and I teach at Waverly. My sons, 14 and 11, and my wife and I are heading to OKC tomorrow afternoon. I've thought about this a lot. I want my family there to see history with me. I remember the 86 game versus Western Kentucky.
That was my first year going to games.
It was my 12th birthday, and I watched at my grandparents' house. An injury-riddled Mo Iba team that couldn't overcome. I missed the 93 New Mexico State game as I was rushing fraternity my freshman year at Doane. 94 game, I was confident. Ripped my heart out after we couldn't defend Penn's constant movement and cutting. Thought maybe T. Lou and the crew could pull off the upset in Boise versus Arkansas to no avail. 2 years ago, was in Vegas with my wife and sister's families for my 50th, also crushed. I'm more than ready to see it end. This team has the resiliency to do it. I plan to take a picture of my two boys with the, what is it, Paycom, right?
Yeah,
scoreboard.
Why do you have such a problem with that word?
I don't know.
It's really an easy word.
Final buzzer sounds, fingers crossed, optimism about GBR. Man, that was awesome.
Yeah, that was.
That
Thank you,
cool.
Sean. Shout out.
Shout out to all of our all of the great folks. And again, what is the phone number if people want to call and leave messages tomorrow?
402-819-8030.
Okay, that's not Jeff Zelny. Don't reach
if
Jeff
I start, if I say 202, stop me, punch
You know
me.
what? I think if we accidentally read Jeff Zelny's phone number, we're going to add him into our community partner.
It up.
Thank you to Jeff Zelny, one of our new community partners.
Somebody tag Jeff Zelny and get him to
Jeff. Give us a retweet.
Give us a message. 402-819-8030.
Give us just one retweet as a treat. All right, let's get back to the voicemails.
Hey, Jack, Rick Frager here. I got a kid on the team, but that's not what this is about. Just calling because you're kind of a guy I've really enjoyed following, mostly through Twitter. I do listen to some local media, but I don't as much now, just to sort of give my brain a break from things. But as a longtime Husker fan, from Andre Smith through I'm kind of close to your age, I think, so I got to know Pike and Chubbuck. They're still good friends of mine. To the guys on this team, I think just a bunch of good dudes, just a bunch of really good guys. I mean, Price Sanford, Connor Essegian, are you kidding me? Is there a better group of guys to have around my son? And like I said, I've kind of followed you, and I think we see the world similarly, I think, in a lot of ways, whether it's how we see the world or how we follow sports, and even I think our relationships with our dads. Mine is kind of going through some health stuff right now. So I think being able for him to see this win will be a pretty big deal, and I think that's probably what I'll think of first. And honestly, I'll probably think of you as well. So anyway, it's going to be a great time, and we're going to get it done. Hopefully I get to meet you someday, Jack. Take care.
That's awesome.
I'm gonna run a freaking wall right now.
Breaker's dad calls left to voicemail. Let's go. And he's gonna think about you if they win tomorrow. That's what I would. My son. And Jack Mitchell's somewhere here too.
When his son makes the final shot, I'm be thinking about his son.
Let's go.
I have no words. I have no words.
Incredible.
Dude, thank you. Let's
Social capital.
Yeah, so come find me at Social Capital.
Yeah, we'd love to.
Tomorrow.
We'd love to see you. We'd love to see you,
Mr. Frager. That'd be amazing.
Oh man, very very
Mr.
cool.
He's my age.
Mr. Frager. Like he's your English teacher.
Mr. Frager.
Oh God, that was incredible.
That's absolutely awesome.
Hilarious. I don't know him. I don't know. I've never met him. Like I would love to.
Do you think Sam's dad's gonna call too?
We got a few. We got a handful. We got a baker's dozen left. I mean, you never know what else could show up in here. You never know what else should show up in here.
Listen.
Yeah.
It's not because anything. I hope people are watching this. I just hope people if you're watching this, get it out to people. Find them. Not because of anything I'm doing or we're doing. These calls are amazing.
Yeah.
Like, and not just because of that last one. It was great, but yes.
Look, Stibbs got a photo of you as you realize who just called. Very cool. Also, those are the people. Oh, okay. I thought that those people had been doing graphics of dead people rooting for Nebraska, but all those guys are alive.
apparently Miami, Ohio is doing
Is
well
that
tonight,
real?
'cause- Yeah, no, yeah, that's real.
I see.
No, they
Oh,
have this thing called Arta.
okay. Here we go. Here we go.
You can make fake pictures now.
Okay.
You shouldn't
Damn it.
believe
I feel like I'm
everything you
100.
see
What is the score right now, Johnny? Are they just destroying them?
It's on behind us.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
All
All
right.
right. Another voicemail?
Go for it.
In 8th grade, I watched Nebraska play in the first round against Baylor as an 11 seed. We got crushed. Today, I'm in my final year of law school. I've been a season ticket holder this year, and I'm watching Nebraska have the greatest season of my life, and it's been a joy. I don't know that I can comprehend the words that it would mean. I've wanted to watch this so bad just to win one game. Not because I deserve it or any of us deserve it as fans, but because we've seen how hard and how much investment some of these players have put into the program for years and years, just to come up short. You know, Nebraska is not the prime entity that any player who's being recruited by all these different schools that they might look at and say, oh, that's where I want to go. There's not a history of greatness at Nebraska. But, seeing these guys like Caleb Jacobson, Sam Hoiberg, Braden Frager, guys that grew up in our state, have been able to watch this and participate in building this up to where it is now. I mean, it just, as somebody who's lived here my entire life, it warms my heart. And so to be able to see them finally cross that hurdle that we've been at for so long, it would mean so much to me and just to all of us. So looking forward to Thursday. Thanks.
Yeah. It's a good point too about the fact that this team is one that has, so there's always been sort of this joke, especially the last 10 or 15 years with Nebraska basketball, that you've got the guys who are from Nebraska are the red shirt guys who are at the end of the bench and aren't really playing yet. You've got what I call the Nebraska Supreme Silver lineup every time that you've got Sam and Kale and Braden in, which is funny because I saw those guys play in Nebraska Supreme games or in local because my son's their age or around their age as well. And like, I guess that's the other thing for me that's really cool about that. And I think that's what he was talking about there. But man, those, and especially with Kale and Sam being older, but boy, it feels like when they've needed something, they've gone to those two guys this year a lot, like a ton, to be able to do it. And like, there's the whole cliche, right? They want it more because they're from there, but man,
Maybe
it sure looks like they do, man. It really does.
By the way, I'm not going to tell anybody to pursue or not pursue a certain profession, but I do think the lawyer to radio pipeline would be good just based on that voice.
I was going to say, man,
that was a
clicked
solid
play,
voice.
and I was like, whoa, this guy's coming for us.
That was a good voice.
Yeah, he knew what he was doing.
I want some time saver traffic from
I like it. Yeah, he did. I think that was a very good voice.
We'll get back to the voicemails in a moment, but just a reminder that the I-80 Club Roadshow, Dancing with the Skers, proudly brought to you by Husker Power Products. More information can be found in the show notes here, the description, or the show notes of the podcast if you're listening at a later date. All of our community partners as well. Incredible support. Our I-80 Club Road crew also, who bought $100 hoodies, and now it's 100 degrees, and so nobody wants to wear them.
Next winter, though.
It's going to be awesome.
You paid how much the temperature was going to be.
But I will say this.
It was like temperature Tuesday.
Mike Schaefer and Lincoln Arneal are out on the town in OKC.
Hey,
and Lincoln is rocking his hoodie.
Well, I'm wearing a hoodie today, too.
So, we're actually all wearing long sleeve, to be fair to us right now.
Yeah, I don't think we will be tomorrow.
Mine is very light.
Yeah.
We have my shout out to my wife and daughter who are watching. They made our I-80 road gear because we all forgot to buy any.
Oops.
Or make any.
Yeah, we've been so worried about all the other stuff that we forgot to get.
So we had a late night with the cricket and the iron last night. So we'll have that in case it's hot out there. But Yeah, that's good stuff. Mike and Lincoln. I wish they were here. I'd love to hear their takes.
Yeah, Keena says I should put on my hoodie that I totally paid $100 for. Oh yeah, Keena got one from somebody else because they didn't like the sizing. It was like too big or too small. So congrats to Keena.
Could have returned it.
Yeah, they did. No, they did. But Spreadshirt said you can keep it, and so they passed it on to Keena.
So she got one for free.
She got one
That'll
for free.
$100.
Yeah, Keena, you we'll up your membership fee. All right, let's get back to the voicemails.
Take her name off the list.
Hello, Jack. This is Grant from Hastings, and what a tournament win would mean for me is it would be proof of what me and my dad have been saying forever, which is that Nebraska can be good at basketball. You know, our favorite sport's been basketball for my whole life, and I'm pretty sure his whole life. But this has always been a football state. No one's really cared about basketball, but I mean, winning as a 4 seed nonetheless would be proof that we could really get this thing going, and there's no reason why this can't be a basketball state too, why we can't have a good basketball team. And it would just be proof and for all of the Nebraska basketball fans that like it was always possible and that we were right. And like most importantly, I mean, at least for me, is that like basketball, again, has always been my favorite sport, and my favorite team's always been Nebraska, but we've sucked so much that it was almost hard to still enjoy college basketball when your favorite team is so bad. So for my favorite team to finally be good and my dad's favorite team to finally be good, that would just mean so much to both of us. So that's what a tournament win would mean to me.
That's interesting. I've learned why everybody likes college basketball now this year. I've been watching a whole lot of non-Nebraska college basketball games this year, and I find myself that first night of that Monday of conference tournament week when the Big Ten tournament hadn't started, the major conference tournaments, there were really no games on. I was like, what am I supposed to do now? What am I supposed to watch? So I totally get that too.
The one of the through lines of this, and not to get back into emotional town for a few more moments, but the fathers and sons.
Yeah,
you know,
man, so many people.
So many people. Obviously, your son is here with us right now, and I think of my sports fandom.
Fathers and daughters too.
Fathers and daughters, and mothers and sons and mothers and daughters. But you know, my dad was the person who introduced me to sports. Who I talk about sports with. He is one of the few people that I want to watch Dallas Cowboys games with. He's one of the few people that I want to talk Husker football with. Like he has always been that person for me, and I know that my fandom would not be what it was without him and the way that he raised me. And so I always think, like I always say this to people, and I don't mean to keep bringing up the Cowboys, so I apologize, but I want them to win the Super Bowl for a variety of reasons. But the thing that I want is I want to hug my dad after they do it. And I know, Jack, that you understand like something so specific as that, because you have memories of hugging your dad after very, important sports wins.
Yeah. And the thing for Nebraska basketball is like, we both love football too. I still love football. I do. I always say this to people though. We spent 10 times of the amount, probably more than that, of the amount
at the Bob
in Devaney Center together at
braving the elements
games. Oh God,
the wind taking you out.
Parking at the Ag Hall, going down the death stairs over there by the State Fair Park. I want someone else to remember that, walking up the ramp to the Devaney Center. And I remember when I was pretty little, I would walk up and I was like, wow, that is, it sounds kind of dumb now, but like, it seems so big. Like I always looked up at it and I didn't look down because it wouldn't move. It was so big. You could walk forward and it wouldn't move in your line of sight. And then you got there and then all of a sudden they would open that door to let someone in. And it was a freezing cold night. And you could feel like, the contrast. I'm surprised there wasn't a thunderstorm that developed right there because of the contrast of temperatures, because it's about 88 inside that place.
Like
it radiates
and about 15 below outside of it. And like, it feels like there should be some clash. And then that smell of the combined, I don't know how to describe it any better than the combined smell of popcorn and rubber and sweat is basically
sweat and funnel cake.
It was definitely popcorn laced, but there was more to it than there was some nuance to it. And it would just breathe out of that place. And it was so warm and thick. It felt like you were like, I'm here. Right. It was the smell and the feel of walking in to that place. And those walks were terrible. It was so cold, and then the walk back after the loss.
Which there was a lot of them.
And
By the way,
going north always. after
Jordan,
the loss.
thousands on malts and wooden spoons.
We bought. Yep, my dad and I, we would buy a malt at halftime, and those malts stayed $1. They were for a long time the only, as far as I know, the only product in the United States commerce that was not affected by inflation for about a 20-year period. But we would get it, and you didn't want to break the spoon, right? Because you want to use it as a tongue depressor later when you were checking for strep throat. But so we got it, but the rule was can't open the top, you can't start eating it until second half starts, and you got to you got to knead it. Yep, you got to knead it a little bit. And then it's the exact amount of time. If you need it during,
it gets soft enough.
Yeah.
Yep.
it gets the perfect.
It's usually this gets it. Never mind.
Yeah, no, it's like kind of like a wine sommelier. They know just the right time to let the wine breathe, and it's time. I can do that with frozen Goodrich chocolate.
Well,
malts.
and also the wood of the spoon also adds the flavor. It doesn't taste the same without the wooden spoon either. You need to get a little bit of that.
Yeah, and you got to have it a little bit because you don't want that wooden spoon too dry because you just drag on your tongue on the way out.
Biff says, and by the way, shout out to our great friends, one of our community partners,
Sandstone.
Oh yeah, Sandstone Wealth Management. He says malts are my favorite memory of Nebraska ball in the boys state tournament. Those things have almost 50% of your daily allotment of saturated fat.
I wish.
And then
Did anyone? Could we get Goodrich to ship some here, like to Social Capital?
Not a bad idea.
Like, could we get an overnight delivery from Goodrich? Does anyone know the?
Come on, we have so many people that know people.
Goodrich.
And a pallet of spoons.
Could we get? I would love to buy. I'll buy them. Okay, I'll buy whatever it is, a pallet. If we could order a pallet of Goodrich malts.
Thanks to our community sponsors for helping us buy ice cream.
Exactly.
Malts.
But wouldn't it be great to come into the bar and buy the whole but instead of a beer, buy them all a Goodrich malt?
Not a bad idea. Not a bad idea. All right, let's get back to the phone calls.
Hey Jack, this is Erik Brown. I've got two boys who are 22 and 20. One graduated from UNL, and the other's a junior. We're heading down to Oklahoma City this week. When I was at UNL in the 90s, it was a golden era of Husker football. Heck, it seemed like a birthright to have national championships. Shooting within a decade after that, the baseball team went to the CWS 3 times. Of my boys, they haven't ever experienced anything like that. I think a win will mean a lot for me because it would have some sort of a payoff for those boys who bleed Husker red, but probably by all right should have told me to shove it with my promises that occasionally the Huskers rise up and do great things. I was at the 94 Orange Bowl when Osborne won his first national championship, and I've been lucky enough to be at 2 Masters Sundays, and I remember sitting in the bleachers at Wrigley Field for the World Series in 2016, thinking about my own dad. And heck, I was in right field for Buck Belter when they played Rice and secured their first CWS trip when it was pouring rain. What a great memory.
Me too.
I've told countless people that first 4 or 5 minutes of that game in Memphis 2 years ago was hands down the most intensely passionate sporting atmosphere I've ever been to. Kind of hard to explain. And of course, it was such a letdown. In any event, I suspect Thursday may make Memphis look like child's play in that regard. I hope so. More than any of that, though, I think part of the connection that Fred has with this state is that he might be the closest thing we've had to Coach Osborne since Coach Osborne, who's, of course, meant the world to all of us. And then there's the space that Fred's kid has grown to occupy in us, almost inexplicable. One of my boys received a Sam Hoiberg headband at Christmas. I am not sure he has a more prized possession, and I'm not even kidding about that. He loves Sam. We all do. And in Oklahoma City, Will is going to be wearing a Sam Hoiberg jersey, and I'm going to be standing right next to him wearing a Husker hat,
along with Fred Hoiberg's Iowa State jersey. You know, as unimportant as sports can seem at times, sometimes there is this incredible bond between parent and child.
Is that the end?
That's the end. So I don't know. There must be a time limit.
Wow. Well, he was kind of coming, man. But you know, that's really a consistent component of this is people who had that, you know, maybe had that success, but want this for their kids.
Yep.
That's like we've heard that like 3 or 4 times tonight. It seems like.
Yeah.
It's really interesting.
Yeah, we have.
So now I want to know who the guy. I can't imagine there's gonna be that many Iowa State jerseys. I was going to wear my Dedrick Willoughby jersey, and now I probably won't. I don't want to be, you know, the other guy.
Let's get back to the voicemails.
Hey, Jack. I've been trying to call for a while and honestly couldn't even think of what to say. This win in the most uneventful answer is it would mean everything. I came into Nebraska ball, honestly, by myself in a family full of football fans. Nobody really cared, but it's one that I adopted as I got into high school in the 2010s, so jumped in right before the initial tournament run with Miles. And the amount of emotions that are going to come out when this game ends, either way, is going to be strong. So obviously, I hope it goes one way. But I think back to all the Iron End stuff I did when I was in college, all the late nights at PBA, getting everything set up for games that this would give me validation that it wasn't necessarily all for naught. I'm so excited. I'm going down for the game to get to share this moment with other Husker fans. Like I said, I came into it by myself. So getting to the university and getting to share this love with other people and getting to actually be in that arena is going to be an event like any other. I just hope this team can pull it out, go get a win, go do the win for Lance Jeter, for Thorbjorn Arson, for Eric Strickland, for Ty Lue, Siobhan Shields, Casey. Hell, give me a win for Danny Nee, for Sadler, for Tim Miles. Let's bring it home. Go Big Red.
Great call. I mean, just great call.
That might be the first of the callers who brought up the former coaches in that way tonight to say, like, hey, like, let's not forget about them too. Like, let's do this for them as well.
I had this tweet and most people made fun of me for it, but like, there's
Classic.
this weird thing that I wish I could see former players' reaction if this happens. And you know, number one on the list is because that moment with Casey crying after the Texas A&M game, and that last caller just talking about that being going to all those sporting events, and that was the most intense he'd ever been into. It just absolutely terrifies me for tomorrow. Number one, but number two, like that moment, like I just wanted to like reach through the TV. It was I didn't because I couldn't watch it. I had to turn. Like that doesn't happen very often. I could not watch a player reacting to a loss because it just like physically hurt me.
Yeah,
to watch him do that, and like I want him to be that. Like I wish it's such a weird thought, but I had this tweet where I was like, if I imagine like all of the old players sitting behind the bench, right? Like who would you want to see there? Who would you like to see there? And all of these people, they all tried and fell short. Every single one tried and fell short. Some got close, some didn't, but for some reason they all still mean so much to us, right? They all there's this close relationship between this fan base, and it's because you were there together. You were a part of the whole thing together. It was interesting how that last caller talked about how he kind of adopted. We've had a few people who kind of said, you know, I just decided this was going to be a thing for me. And I'll tell you why why that happens. Because not everybody's got money to go to football games.
Yeah.
It's more accessible. There's more games. You know, it's accessible without any other way to put it. And I think I think there's something about the fan that does that jumps on this and says, well, I want to really be a part of something, and I don't care, like, and this is something I don't have to be a donor. I don't have to be someone who's had season tickets for 50 years. Like, I can buy $99 tickets and I can just jump in, and I can jump right in. There's a low entry point to jumping in on this team. And I think you're now seeing the benefits of that.
Oh yeah.
You see a whole several years, and it is really those people who jumped on, oddly enough, between 2010 and the beginning of Fred Hoiberg. That's who's calling.
I mean, because we've had multiple comments. Yeah, but people have said in the Discord tonight multiple times, like, wow, it's a lot of younger callers.
I mean,
a lot of Gen Z callers, a lot of young millennial callers.
Yeah, whatever. I mean, that's kind of what it's been. Is Jab started out 2011. He talked about, but that's really what it's been. Is been, I think, 2010, and I don't know when Sadler and the Sadler's last year might have been 2010.
It's 2012.
2012.
Yeah.
You're mainly kind of talking about the Miles era.
Seriously, Miles era and onward, yeah.
And what happened with those people is that they were in 2014. They got the hook.
Oh yeah, and then you're not gonna
that hook.
Go.
And I think
I remember, Jack. I was talking to like coworkers before about the idea of hardcore Nebraska basketball fans, and I've always felt like an outlier in that. Not an outlier in my friend group, more as an outlier in talking to other people my age, where it's like my friend group is like all diehard Nebraska fans. Basketball. Like, I had a roommate. I remember the first person that I lived with in college, and was like, whoa, I didn't realize people cared this much about this team. I didn't realize, why would you? That was my thought. Why would you care about this team this much? And then all of my best friends are like that. I know multiple people who are season ticket holders. I know multiple people who will be down at the game tomorrow. I know the group chat is going to be popping off. I know that the friends who aren't going are like massive FOMO about missing out on this trip. Like, that is my friend group. My friend group is the one where the group chat during a Nebraska game on a Tuesday night versus Rutgers is just ping, 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 ping over and over and over.
Do we think so? Obviously 2014, but also moving over to Pinnacle Bank Arena. More seats, more people being able to be in there.
But it was still pretty accessible, you know.
Yeah.
I think that was it. But you didn't have to. You could still get.
Not that you couldn't get in at Devaney. I'm just saying.
No, you definitely could in both places. But it combined accessibility with kind of an enhanced
comfort.
I don't know. You went through both. What do you think?
I mean, yeah, I don't know. I remember.
You probably don't remember.
I don't remember much from Devaney. I've got a few really distinct memories from Devaney, but I will say, as a student, over the past 3 years, I've only showed up to games previous to this year, maybe half an hour, 45 minutes early. I got there 2 hours early for every game, and I was at the back of the freaking line every single time.
I have heard there are some cutters, though.
Oh my goodness! Don't even get me started on the feet saving.
What are we doing?
Spot in the line saving. But you know what? I don't care, because there are people that care enough to show up at 4 p.m. on a Wednesday to go watch a random game against Washington.
Yeah.
You know? Incredible.
By the way, Stibbs has posted a great Photoshop from the Super Bowl when the Broncos won. It says, "This one's for Doc," and it's Fred Hoiberg, and Doc Sadler has been placed in place of John Elway. So excellent work by you, Stibbs, there in the I-80 Club Discord server. All right, let's get back to the voicemails. But first, J Crew 402, I'll be at Paycom with you, ready to make it PBA South. Nice. We will see you tomorrow. We will be in the building. All of us will be in the building. See how high up
the pressure was already high, you guys, and I know we're not done yet. We're getting closer, but it's taking it to an unbelievably new level.
Yeah.
I don't know that I've wanted a sporting event so bad.
Well, we still got a night's sleep to go, and you have a radio show that you have to do tomorrow.
Oh, yeah.
Can you call in sick?
That's mere hours away.
Yeah, mere hours, Jack. Let's get back to the voicemails.
Hi, this is John from Waukee, Iowa. To keep it short, it'll literally mean the world to me if they win. I'm going to be hammered drunk on Thursday, and it would be one of the greatest experiences in my life. Thanks.
Shout out Waukee,
Let's
Iowa.
go, baby.
That's the second Waukee Waukee person that we've had here watching.
Incredible. Absolutely incredible.
By the way, Kurt Malley, shout out Nebraska Realty, is texting me about he's asking they must be having a good time.
Yeah. Multiple people reached out to us like, hey, are you guys going out for
There's so many people.
And we said, no, we're doing a podcast. And they said, we're idiots. But who's the idiots now? We're 90 minutes in and having a great time. And Jack's cried like 3 times already.
Just once.
Just one time. Okay.
I mean, it's not over yet.
Yeah, I was going to say, we still have 9 more voicemails to go.
If you think that's bad, get ready for tomorrow.
Yeah.
Either way.
All right, let's get back to the voicemails.
Hey, Jack. You once knew me as GQ in college. You know that I'm a lifelong, diehard Nebraska basketball fan. I consider myself in that rare group that cheers for the basketball team, probably more so than I do the football team. I know a lot of Husker Nation would think that that's very odd, but you and I both know that there is a group that exists, that we're just bigger Husker Hoops fans than we are Husker football fans. And you know how much of a Husker football fan I am. So what this game would mean to me, finally getting the so-called monkey off our back. I have had season tickets. My family has had season tickets to Nebraska basketball since 1990. I've seen the highest of highs through Danny Nee's years, and I have seen the 6,200 fans trudge into the Bob Devaney Sports Center in the 2000s. Every single new head coaching change, I held out hope and was a absolutely optimist fan all the time. But my favorite slogan every year was, well, maybe next year will be the year. Obviously now things have changed a great deal. I was hoping Tim Miles was going to get things righted, and that didn't obviously pan out. But I think we are now to a point where obviously Fred is the coach, and he is the guy that has completely built a culture of winning. 3 straight 20-win seasons, just very, very rare. Actually, I don't think that's ever happened in Nebraska history. So what it would mean, obviously, it would be the biggest game in Nebraska basketball history is this Thursday at 11:40. I will be there sitting courtside, and I will be cheering and yelling and screaming my head off. And if we win, I will freely admit it. I've told my friends, and my friends have not been surprised one bit. I will cry like a baby, tears of joy, and I'll stick around in Oklahoma City and go to the second round game, and then I'll probably go back down to the Sweet 16 game as well, just because why not? This doesn't happen. So anyways, hope you're doing well. Love to catch up with you sometime, but that's what a Husker win would mean to me.
Awesome.
Very cool.
So August 1996, I walk into a dorm. My parents just left. I was 3 hours away from home for the first time in my life. I was starting to think, what am I doing? This is going to be tough. And there was a dude who lived on our floor who was a little bit older. He was very outgoing, gregarious, and everything. And I introduced him. He was like, "Where are you from?" And I was like, "I'm from Lincoln." He was like, "You a Husker fan?" I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "I'm from Omaha." And he was like, "How serious of a Husker fan are you?" And he was like,
did you tell him about your basement and Fiesta Bowl party?
Yeah,
with the 2 rooms.
Yes. And then, as you know, if he was going to challenge me on that, I was like,
"Do you want to play Sporkle?"
I started, let's name the most random Husker we can think of, and we'll go all like we were doing
Guys Name and Dudes
before Guys Name and Dudes. And I played my first card, which was Ben Gesford at the time, former offensive because he went to high school with me. He was a few years older than me in high school, and then he was like, when you said Ben Gesford, I knew you were the real deal. And and so he's and it was the same thing. We bonded over Husker sports, and he made me feel
That's awesome.
like I don't know. I was in Northwest Iowa. I didn't think I'd ever meet anybody who was cheering for the Huskers.
And right away.
And right away. And so
now he's calling into your podcast.
And so I run into him, talk to him every year or so. So it was awesome to hear from him. Shout out GQ.
Shout out GQ. Let's get to our next one.
Hey, Jack. This is Patrick from Omaha. This win would mean a lot, obviously, for a team and a program that's only been twice in my lifetime of 30-plus years to the tournament. And obviously the Tim Miles ejection against Baylor and the A&M 3-point miraculous performance they put on a few years ago. This would be really cool to see from a kid that thought Mike Pelton and Siobhan Shields were going to shut down Doug McDermott in 2012 and 2013 when Creighton felt like they owned us in every game, to going through the Doc Sadler years and the Timmy Miles years and even the first few years of Fred. I was thinking, will this ever get right? Excited to say I'm going to be down in OKC with my best buddy, another fellow tried and true Cornhusker. It'd be really cool to be there in person. It's something that we couldn't miss. It's something that I can't wait to call my dad about. Someone that I talk to, about almost every game. Did you catch it? Did you listen to Ken on the radio, how excited he was and the joy that surrounds this team and what the state's feeling and knowing that no Sker and no Creighton fan can take it away as this is our journey and we run the state and this has been a journey since the crown last year that have been fully bought in and excited to see, PBA South and OKC and excited to be a part of it and hope that it does come to fruition. It comes to truth that not only we get the first one, but, God forbid we get that second one over Vandy. It would be quite the trip, and having now a young son, it's really cool to think that he might grow up in an era where Husker basketball is a name that you need to recognize in March and doesn't have to go through the pain and the suffering of the last 30-some years. So excited to be there in person. Can't wait to hopefully see it come true Thursday at hopefully 2 o'clock local down at OKC and celebrate, with a best friend that's been through the same trials and struggles in the last 30 years. And here's to Bangarang and GBR forever and hopefully Fred and the boys have what it takes to get it done Thursday and continue to ride that ship as we get later into the weekend and hopefully into the following week. But appreciate the chance here. Go Big Red and safe travels everyone going and join us down in OKC.
All right.
Awesome.
By the way, I know there's a lot of people who we've heard from a lot of people who made it down. I know there's a lot. I've never been able to make it down. I wasn't able to go to Memphis. I would have loved to been able to go to San Antonio when they were there, but
I was thinking about that earlier, how you finally get to go to
it
one
just
of these.
doesn't, and I didn't go to, and I was sick that I wasn't there. That's part of the reason I'm here now. And I mean, because I want to be here, but part of it is I don't want anyone to feel like they're left out of the experience of being here. So tomorrow we're going to act like you're here with us because we know you would be if you could. And so hopefully when we're celebrating tomorrow, we're bringing you in to the whole thing, your companion through the whole thing.
That's part of the phone calls. Be part of it.
Yeah, that's really what I like. That's the biggest reason I wanted to be here and do what we do, is not just to tell you what happened, but to sort of involve you in it, because I get it. It's hard. It's hard. I haven't been able to. I've never been able to, and the only reason I've been able to now is honestly thanks to, we've had so many folks get behind us, like Husker Power Products and all of our community partners and a whole bunch of I-80 club members too.
Yeah.
So that's
Jeff says, is this your first March Madness game ever? This will be your first one ever.
Well, not my first Nebraska one ever. I've been in.
You've been to Omaha?
I went to Chicago on a random trip with a friend when I was
Florida, right?
I cheered for Creighton over Florida.
Crazy.
I'm sorry, I didn't know.
That's
why I always say it's the rivalry started.
Yeah, right
later.
after that, literally 5 seconds later. Fight says, on behalf of those of us with FOMO, thank you. Yeah, again, we're so happy to be able to do this. And by the way, speaking of tomorrow, the plan, before we get back to the voicemails, we'll be on at 9:30. We're going to be live 9:30, getting you ready for Nebraska and Troy. We'll do that show for about an hour, a special coffee show, the Thursday morning coffee show. Us three with Mike Schaefer will start your day off right. We're going to all then head into the arena about an hour later, and then we will be back 2-ish is the game plan. It's the game plan like it is after all of our games, right? After all the Nebraska games, they finish, we get to our spot. We'll get right back over and get ready to go. And so the post-game show will start at 2, and then TBD on the After Dark show. But imagine probably a time similar to the one that we're doing right now. We're hanging out. Gosh, maybe we need to turn the table so we can watch March Madness tomorrow. Either way, we'll figure it out. So that's the game plan for tomorrow. And then assuming good things, off to the races we go into the weekend. So just stay tuned to the schedule.
We'll
turn on the notifications here on the YouTube page.
Subscribe
as we'll continue to roll on. All right, we have 7 voicemails to go.
Oh my gosh,
here's
incredible! I did not expect this response. Like I barely even said. I didn't even really say what it was for. Like I was just like, people want to talk about it. I kind of had a feeling they might.
Yep, they have indeed. All right, let's get to the next one.
Hello, this is Dylan calling in from Lincoln. I am the owner of the Instagram page Cornhusker CBB. Well, getting this first NCAA tournament win will honestly mean everything to me. I think anyone that knows me would describe me as the biggest diehard Nebraska ball fan they know. I'm 22 years old, and ever since PVA opened, I've only missed 5 home games, and I created my page creating content about Nebraska basketball just about 7 years ago. Being in person to see the first ever win in program history would be so surreal, and I think I would definitely shed some tears standing in the stands, especially after traveling to Memphis and witnessing the A&M loss, or even 5th grade me getting pulled out of school so my dad and I could go to the PBA watch party for the Nebraska-Baylor NCAA tournament game in 2014. I'll never forget my grandparents taking me to games at Devaney and seeing crazy games like us upsetting number 3 Texas. And some past players I'll definitely think of are Dylan Talley, Benny Parker, Teron Petaway, Siobhan Shields, Walter Pitchford, Glenn Watson Jr., Roby, Palmer, Isaac Copeland, Derek Walker, Jawan Gary, Bryce Williams, Josiah Alec, and of course, Keisei Tominaga. Thank you.
All right. Awesome.
I love going down the guys naming dudes of random Nebraska ball players from recent years, and it reminds me of we have a song that we'll play on 1620 The Zone sometimes when you come on, and you mentioned JPJ, and it's like a very specific moment in time for Husker basketball. I always love hearing it.
Yeah, but it's that hook. I mean, I think the more I've thought about it, that team, that JPJ, Roby, that group, Copeland. They were huge.
Andre says, now that's a list of dudes.
Yeah. Siobhan Shields, Ty Webster. Ty Webster doesn't get mentioned very much too, but like he should be a part of that as well. By the way, he referenced that 10 Nebraska beat Texas. That's the game. You can go to YouTube.
That you're in the student section.
That I sat in the student section for, that Bishop
with your
and
weird turkey leg hat.
Bishop and I did, and you can see a young Johnny. Very young Johnny.
Very young.
Make a cameo in that one. I would.
Awesome.
Maybe I'll link it here in the comments later.
Very cool. All right, a few more to go. Let's get to the next one.
I've been thinking about this day for a long time. Probably since the end of that A&M loss in 2024, and winning one NCAA tournament game, I think, means more to this, specifically the basketball fan base, than a lot of people understand. Like, I think people understand that there's a lot of gravity in this game. Like, there is a lot hinging on one victory, and people will laugh saying, well, you're a 4 seed, you're supposed to go win this game. You're supposed to actually go win 2. You're the higher, seeded team. You're the higher ranked team. But the win, when it comes, will make the last 26 years of my life where I didn't get to enjoy the NCAA tournament as much because my team wasn't playing in it, that much sweeter. This victory is for the people that have suffered through years and years of being the doormat of college basketball at the Power 4 level, having a successful program down I-80 in Omaha, being able to weather the storm and not falter when it's easy to go find another team to root for, and not care that much, and you keep tuning in and you believe in the new guy that comes in, and we get Fred Hoiberg, and it feels like the right hire, and that first year everything sucks, and you watch the team and you find some things to be proud of, and you remember the guys that wore the scarlet and cream, and it just brings so much pride to know that there are generations of basketball players who are going to be able to look on and watch this team accomplish something that no one in the Nebraska uniform has done it before. I think of I get emotional when I think of my dad. Like, my dad has watched 70 years of Nebraska athletics. He's seen the highs and the lows. He went to the 96 and 95, 94 Orange Bowls, and he's watched them hoist national championship trophies. And I was fortunate to be at the College World Series watching that Nebraska-Arizona State game. Like, I have so many of those memories, and so many of them are with my dad by my side. And I think that's not an uncommon experience for Nebraska fans. Like, it's such a family-oriented thing. And I know that I've heard it time and time again that, like, there is just something different about the pride that the people in the state of Nebraska have for this university. And that nothing epitomizes that more than those people who have stuck by the side of this basketball program through the highs and the lows. And I am fully anticipating roughly, 2 o'clock on Thursday, having tears streaming down my face, just reflecting on.
Oh, that was
There
such
is
a
indeed a 3-minute cutoff.
I could have listened.
No.
Oh man, what a great! I had nothing to say. Like, that was, I couldn't say anything about it. That was so well said.
Couple texts coming in. Rob says,
Man.
I don't know if this can make the show, but what would this mean to me as a 9 and 10-year-old? I used the space above my bedroom door to recreate losses to Alaska Fairbanks. Just get us one. Aaron writes, my parents have an entire folder of newspaper clippings I put in organized scrapbook style and drawings I made of the Big 8 tourney title run. Pikett's Peak has 44 inches is a headline that lives rent-free in the best way in my head.
Yeah.
Even
I
Jack
remember
will
that
appreciate that rent-free.
I do. That's the first time I ever have.
All right, handful more voicemails to go. Let's get to another one.
Hey, my name is Griffin. I live here in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. What it would mean for me for Nebraska to win its first March Madness game. To me, the only person I can think of is my dad. He's been watching Nebraska ball for, as long as he's been alive. He got me introduced to it. I've really started following, I'd say, probably within the past couple years. K-Say was one of the players that really got me into it. My dad has been paying attention, like I said, all of his life. So one thing that I have been thinking of is I've been waking up in the middle of the night, hoping that it's already Thursday. So I'm very, very excited. Think we're going to win against Troy. I don't want to count all my ducks before they hatch, but I am planning on getting a bottle of whiskey and some cigars to celebrate with my dad. So go Big Red. Let's kick some butt in OKC. Can't wait to see what happens. Thanks.
Awesome.
Shout out Sioux Falls. That's where that's Sioux Falls is the town where I realized, wait, is something happening? That game in the Pentagon against Oklahoma. And it's also a place where I understood the Nebraska fan base was at a level I maybe didn't even understand, because that was that was fun.
It was full mast.
I was going to say, we also got our title sponsor of the Nebraska Ball Hour.
Me. See if Kurt's texted me again. Oh, yeah.
But also, it was like the crowd took over that game in a way, even though it was at the Pentagon, and they'd been at the Pentagon multiple times, something felt different this year.
Yeah.
About the crowd taking it over that.
Well, I remember that game finishes up, and because, people made fun of Jack all season for this, but he didn't want to do the Nebraska Ball Hour anymore. He didn't want to do those shows. And that game, he left it. I remember him texting me during it, okay, we're going to have to do some stuff. And then obviously they go off on the run, and now we're in Oklahoma City doing a podcast inside of a dining room.
Yeah, man.
At a random
Star Wars house.
Star Wars house.
Star Wars house.
We have 4 more voicemails.
Jeez.
Here's the next one.
Jack, first I want to start off by saying appreciate all the Nebraska ball support you've done. As a current senior here at Lincoln, I've loved finding a community that's invested through listening to you and then connecting with other people that also listen. But I'll tell you, man, starting out 4 years ago, I was getting buddies, begging them to go to the games. Beat Creighton somehow, wasn't looking too hot though during that stretch, and then the Tominaga era started, and the energy in that place was just incredible. And I was just kept thinking, man, I never in hell thought at one point that this, during my tenure at this school, we'd be able to do it at all. And that team went 16-16, and it felt amazing after years of dog shit, to be honest. And then the next year, that was a roller coaster, up and down. Got some big wins, had some bad losses, and then right when Trev Alberts leaves, we get paired up with the Texas A&M team. That was probably the worst possible team we could have been paired up with. And that one was a killer. That would suck, seeing a guy like Casey leave. And then year after that, last year, I pride myself in being front student section every time behind the hoop, and last year that one was the death of me, man. I mean, so many daggers, so many close ones. Hard to bring the energy every game. That Iowa game just killed me to end the year. And this year's been awesome. This year I have had the most fun of my life. I've been able to travel out to all the different spots, really enjoying this final run. And I'll be going to OKC, and if I'm able to see it happen, and when I do see it happen, it'll be nothing but tears, man. I mean, I'm going to probably enjoy that moment so much, between being my senior year, between having my cousin Henry on the team, all of that, just soaking it all in and being in such a moment that I never thought would happen. And I'm ready for it. Thank you, man.
You're popular with the youngs, Jack.
Yeah, senior in college, man.
Popular with the youngs.
I knew who that was the second he started talking.
You know him?
Well, it's Henry Burt's cousin. He is the one front and center of every student section behind the hoop at every single game. I know he is good buddies with Sam. He's
The
good. buddies with
diehards
the
of
whole team.
diehards.
Diehards.
You
of
find him
diehards.
tomorrow so I can talk to him?
I have high-fived him at numerous games. I'm sure he doesn't remember it, but I do, because he embodies what the entire student fan base looks like and has looked like for this season. And legitimately, he is if I could go have dinner with one person, he would be like top 10 on the list right now, just so I could just
That's
talk,
awesome.
because the passion that he brings to every single game. He's there. He's legitimately, he has gone to every single game. And I want to talk to that guy.
Man, I can't develop that as quickly as he did. That's so interesting.
And it's not even just this year. It was the years previous to that.
In a short number of years.
No, huge.
That's
I
cool.
have so much respect.
Dude, shout out. Let's find him tomorrow.
3 calls left. Let's get to one of them.
Hey, this is Bryce in Idaho. I'm a Nebraska grad from the Danny Nee era. My dad died unexpectedly a little over a year ago, just a couple of days after Nebraska's loss to Iowa knocked them out of qualifying for the Big Ten tournament. He's also a Nebraska grad from the 60s, and his last words to me via text were, quote, "Unbelievably sad that the program could be so incredibly bad," end quote. Then Nebraska proceeded to win the crown, and there were about 20 wins in a row to start this season. And after every game, I would always think about my dad's text. I wish you could have been around to see them now. So a tournament win would just turn that sentiment up to 11, and it would let me imagine that he's somehow up there helping it all to happen in spirit. So you hear that, Dad? Make it happen.
That's good, man.
Yeah.
I mean, what more to say? All right, let's get to another one.
Let's go. At Liberty First Credit.
All right. That you sent me the wrong one, Jack. I was like, why is it named that? But that was the most recent one that you sent me.
Wait,
So
did somebody call and play their own ad?
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, I just want to make sure, because the most recent one.
I'm sorry, that was the I don't know.
Okay, he said another voicemail, and I was like, that's a really weird.
Oh, there was another one. Did I
okay.
send you that
Well,
when I said that?
I know we have this one, so let's at the very least we'll get to this one, and this might be our last one. It might not. Let's find out.
Hi, Jack. It's Lindsay Strizek, a.k.a. Royals Girl. I have to say that winning the first NCAA tournament game is bigger than sports to me. This win shows the loyalty and dedication to something that most people would think you're insane to stay the course on this insane journey. My dad and I have gone to games together since I was 3 years old, and I just turned 40. Those season tickets and trudging to the Bob, as it was known back in the day, the Lincoln Library, it's crazy to think about then now what it's like in PBA. We're sitting in Section 108, and the insane crowds like No Sit Sunday, beating Purdue as the number 1 seed, and then all the other craziness that's come along. This first NCAA tournament win would show that the journey's worth it. You can go through the lowest of lows and wonder what in the world you're doing and why you're putting yourself through this. Then you get a magical season like this, shattering expectations, going 20-0, being ranked 5th in the country, and being 4 seed in the big dance. Winning this game is a crowning achievement and makes it all worth it. You go through the lows to enjoy the mountaintop. I so desperately want this win to happen Thursday in Oklahoma City, where I can enjoy it with my parents and know that those who've been on this journey with us, a lot of them are not here with us anymore, but they're going to be with us in that moment, and we'll get transported back through all the years, and all the pain and suffering will be worth it because we get that explosion of joy that we've all been waiting for. Go Big Red.
Thank you, Lindsay.
What a great call.
That was a great call.
What a great call from Lindsay. Normally, we only read comments from those in the YouTube chat who drop us supers, but I did want to read this one from Sean as we get ready to wind down. Jesus, amazing how many callers reference their dads.
Yeah, man.
Talk
it's
about a
interesting.
through
Like,
line.
I didn't know. Like
A through line of the pod tonight.
Man, that one from Idaho, that's sticking with me.
Mhm.
I first of all, I hope the people who made these calls see this. I hope people share this show. Like, it's gonna have a really short shelf life.
I know. I'm
which
thinking
I'm
about that
bummed
a few
about.
minutes
Like,
ago.
I really wish we had done this.
Yeah.
I didn't really. I mean, I had the idea 2 nights ago, I think. So, it's kind of hard.
Here's the funniest part about this. As we get ready to say goodbye, Bishop he tried to call on the show the other day. I think Nick dialed the wrong number. So there's some pretend voicemail talking trash to Creighton or talking trash to Nebraska from a Creighton person that is on some random phone number.
Call the right number.
No, so it was like this.
Creighton thing to do ever.
It was this woman's voice, and I just thought it was like this random. Like, okay, that's apparently how Jack set it up, and that's what ended up happening.
So he messed it up. He messed up his.
Nick
prank.
messed it up. No, they didn't. There was.
Oh,
it was.
Got
The
it.
communication wasn't the best, and then Nick dialed the wrong number.
Man, I really wish I would have gotten this one, but I don't know because
You
I
wanna
can
just
read
read it?
I might if I'm going to try one more time if I can really quick.
So you click download.
Yeah.
Just name it like new.
Okay, but I'm gonna have to put it in this folder. Or I can just email it.
Johnny,
to you.
we might have to hire you as the director
Okay,
of technology.
Okay, we're not gonna. You guys, but. For people who just joined us while I'm sending this to Josh, and we're gonna hear our final one.
Yeah.
And thank you. First of all, thank you everybody for calling and sharing these.
Incredible.
Stories. Can you believe how good these were?
Dude, these were phenomenal. This has got me so excited / more anxious for tomorrow to get the post game ones.
And that's a great reminder, Caleb. If they do it tomorrow, we will have that phone number available. You can call in. I don't know if we're going to play 100 calls tomorrow. We would be doing a 5-hour podcast tomorrow night, but certainly send us what you were thinking.
Here, we may as well.
While we're here, we may as well. Send us those. Did you send me the email?
402. Write it down now. Put it on send yourself a reminder.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that'll be depressing if they lose.
Yeah.
Put it down. Put it on a piece of paper. Put it in your pocket for tomorrow. And if they win and you forget, you reach in your pocket when you're celebrating, call and leave us a voicemail. It's a celebration line if they win tomorrow.
What's the phone number, Jack?
402-819-8030. 402-819-8030.
Did you send me the there it is. Perfect.
All right, let's play this last one. This is we had a lot of Gen Y and Gen Z.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think this is either of those.
Okay.
From what I could tell.
And so this one we just got it right within the last
This
half
came
hour.
in during the show. Someone who was, I don't know, it came in at 9:43.
Oh,
so.
okay. So not even an hour ago. All right. So this is the final
This is the
call
last one of the night.
Here we go.
Hey, Jack. My name's Jonas. I'm from Wahoo. First games were freshman year, 77. We're old. And, so we caught Cipriano and Mo years. And we had a crew that kept going there every time. We were front row right across from Cipriano. And if we could get that win, I could say, we had a crew of guys, Hines, Busacker, Artie, Woody, Clausen, Larson, Fitch, guys I haven't seen in 45 years or more. And it'd be more worth it. It's more than due. And if you talk to Kurt Marley tomorrow, say I'm still a better fisherman than him. All right, thanks, guys.
Oh, we got some fishing trash talk.
Let's go.
Let's go from Joe. I'll text Kurt right now. He's at the top of my list.
Incredible.
That's incredible.
What was that? That was Joe.
That
Shout
was
out to
Joe
you,
in
Joe.
Wahoo. And do it for Hines, Bluesacker, Woody, Clausen, and Larson.
Incredible.
All the guys from 1977.
I don't know
sitting
any
in
of
the
those
Colis-
names.
Literally
none of those names.
Would that have been the Coliseum then? Man, it's the Joe
Incredible.
Cipriano years. That was incredible. You listed these dudes of college guys. I want to hang out with Blue Sack.
God, oh
man,
Blue Sacker.
Blue Sacker. I mean, Clausen.
Hardly know her.
I mean, we could get a
Clausen's
Blue Sack
wild.
jacket if you'd
Woody
like.
and you got Woody, Clausen, Larson, Hines. Oh man,
Don't even bring Hines.
That is an awesome call to end on.
Thank you, Joe,
Thanks,
and thank
Joe.
you to everybody else who called in over the course of the last 48 hours since you put this
Dude,
online.
crazy,
Jack?
crazy. I hope it blows up tomorrow. I want to thank Husker Power Products.
Oh, yeah.
And so much for
making this happen.
We couldn't not be here now. Like I can't. I like Caleb was saying. Like I can't. There was no way I could imagine tomorrow would be more ratcheted up than it is, and now it somehow is.
Yeah,
like
absolutely.
it really is.
Thank you to Husker Power Products. I mean, seriously, allowing us to make this thing happen. We're going to have an incredible day tomorrow. We'll tell you about that in just a moment because we also want to give another shout out to our community partners: iSurgical Associates, Fleet Feet Lincoln, 5-Star Pass Solutions, Lincoln Symphony Orchestra, Look Architectural Coatings, the most recent addition to the list. Look Architectural Coatings.
They're going to do. They have our.
We have our sign. We got a sign
Look for
tomorrow
our
that we're going to
sign
have
on the
tomorrow.
roof of Social Capital tomorrow.
Incredible. Thank you to Look. Thank you to Pinnacle Bank Arena, Sandstone Wealth Management, The Still, Sutton, Linder, and Sutton. Visit Lincoln. And yes, 1620 The Zone. We will be on live tomorrow, not only here on the I-80 Club YouTube channel, but also on the Zone YouTube channel. That will be for our post-game show. So tomorrow's schedule looks like this. Caleb and I are going to make our way over with Johnny to get everything set up in the morning because we will be going live at 9:30. Jack will be there as well. Mike Schaefer will be there.
At Social Capital.
At Social Capital. We'll have the address for you. You know what? I'm going to put it on the screen right now because I have the graphic made for tomorrow. And so people can just look at that and write it down. Or, of course, you can Google it.
On the other side of the park. It's
Yeah.
517 South Hudson Street.
Yeah. Oh, I guess I don't have the graphic or the address on the graphic.
It
Either way,
looks-
that's where we'll be.
We drove by it today. We still haven't been in it.
It's awesome.
Shout out Jen from Social Capital too for helping us with
So we'll
this.
be there.
And the Nebraska Alumni Association pregame party is
Yes.
there.
So we'll be there at 9:30 with everybody having a great time. We'll go for pretty much an hour, and then we all got to hightail it over because Nebraska plays 70 minutes after we log off. So that's what we're going to be doing in the morning. Once the game ends, then we will all, after many tears of joy, pictures, videos, I imagine, of fathers hugging sons
Oh
and
my gosh.
daughters.
I'm
and
gonna
moms
hug.
hugging
If
people.
they win, I'm gonna hug so many people.
Get ready for
meet
hugs.
People I don't even know.
Get ready for hugs tomorrow. And then Nebraska, after playing at 11:40, we will then make our way back over to Social Capital and we will start again. Basically, we have it scheduled for 2, but it's essentially once we arrive, once we get set up, we will be going. Once all of us are there, we are saying hello, and you will get to join us for a special Nebraska ball hour live from Social Capital. So we'll be doing that at 2
afterwards.
And then tomorrow night, we will do an after dark show. TBD on the time. It'll be late, probably. Something
I
similar
want it to be
this.
this show.
It will be this show.
But the celebration
and
line.
maybe some bourbon. Did you bring bourbon, Jack?
No,
I
we'll
don't
get some.
remember. Okay, we're
Oklahoma
gonna
has the best bourbon.
Okay,
We can-
perfect. That's what people say.
Sorry, Kentucky.
Who knows? Like, I know the lighting is better over here. Maybe we do it in the mood lighting tomorrow.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, because we want to watch March Madness,
Yeah.
and we can log into my YouTube TV
Yeah.
and have a quad box.
I think Miami, Ohio won behind of it.
They
behind
did.
us.
Okay, perfect.
Right.
Suck
That's a
it,
big
Auburn.
TV.
So that's what
We'll
we'll
figure
do.
it out.
So we'll be on
Thank
tomorrow
you.
night late doing, post game reaction, more post game reaction. reaction, a little bit of booze, and a lot of fun and laughter. Unless it's sad, and then it's going to be terrible. If they lose, we're not doing an after dark show.
Good vibes.
Good vibes only.
Good vibes.
Good vibes only. So that's what we're doing tomorrow, and we'll give you the schedule for the rest of the week over the course of the next few days. Did want to give an additional shout out to our I-80 Club Road crew. Their names are in the show notes. Their names are in the link. We very much appreciate everything that they have been able to do or help us be able to do. Sorry that they bought hoodies and now temperatures are 100 degrees, but we very much appreciate them, Jack.
Hey,
Hey,
if we do it again for Houston, we'll make short sleeve ones.
All right, perfect. That sounds awesome. That sounds absolutely awesome. All right, for Caleb, for Jack, for Johnny, and for all of our great listeners, subscribers, patreon.com/I-80 Club. If you want more, hop on in, Johnny. If you want more from us, you can like and subscribe to the YouTube channel, patreon.com/I-80 Club. Lean down, Johnny. You look like you don't have a head. There we go. There's Johnny hanging out with us. Thanks, everybody. I'm Josh.
Thank you.
Thanks, everybody. We'll be back tomorrow.
9:30. Tomorrow's the day.
9:30 a.m. We'll get you ready with a pregame spectacular ahead of Nebraska and Troy. Have a great night.
Get some sleep.